This love now so take over, Baba. That's how they make us on me back for you.
What happened? You see, if you are coming to Jesus, you are coming with your pride, with your ego. It doesn't work.
But I know him. That's the man Jesus who holds tomorrow. And so therefore, if you don't know tomorrow, I know he's in the holds tomorrow. He's holding my hand.
Believe in yourself. I'm talking to someone that is watching me. Do you want to be a history maker? Believe in yourself. If nobody believes in you, believe in yourself.
Hey, move on, go, right? This love now so take over, Baba.
Mercies of the Lord forever. With my mouth will I make known His faithfulness to all.
If He do it for me, He gon' do it for you. Because we will show that for me.
The way you love me so tender, like chocolate, like sugar, like sugar.
Mighty God,
You are faithful and awesome.
you know, decree that there should be blessing. I decree that there should be favor.
Waka with Jesus, sweet in the wait for you. Hero tranga for waka, but you for waka day.
I do not know what tomorrow will bring, what it holds for me. Good friend, I do not know.
Turn me back on you. You shake your body to the left, to the left, to the left. Hey, you move and go to the right, to the right, to the right. Hey, you tap your foot to the left, to the left, to the left. This love now so take over, Baba.
And the God has said trapped. So depression can ensnare a man's soul. People who have gone astray into wild and bad life today, some of them are the cause of depression. They are so depressed, they just give up on themselves. And it is worse than even in death when a man gives up on hope upon himself. Because I was saying that if nobody believes in you, you must believe in yourself. So depression causes you to lose confidence in yourself. Depression causes a man to hate him or herself. You hate yourself. You despise yourself. You close the door. And you conclude your own case. While you are alive, you say there is no hope for me. That is how dangerous the speed of depression can be. You go to work, you look gloomy. Your husband and your wife cannot be happy around you. Your kids can't reach you. The joy of others gets you agitated. Because why? You're depressed. If you're in that state, God is taking you out by faith. God is bringing you out by faith. Amen. In the name of Jesus. Amen. And depression can lead to malice and hatred. It was depression that took him from a child of God to a cursed man. He became depressed at the success and the divine approval of Abel. And he loses his cool. He became depressed. That even when God spoke to him, Cain, sinners at the door. If you have done well, that means that God was encouraging him to make another sacrifice. But Cain was depressed. Every spirit of depression that wants to make you a murderer, a killer, or a suicide, it doesn't matter. You must overcome it. Amen. Depression causes you to become jealous of those whom by natural nature you surpasses them. Their success can intimidate you. It's a sign of depression. Why the next sunrise belongs to you. But because of depression, you fail to see the sunrise. Yeah, that's what depression can do. I want to encourage you today. So about to know God's word. Wherever you are, I want you to conquer depression. There is nobody who does not fall in the world, but a depressed man will never rise. But no matter your states, if you conquer depression, you can surely rise again. Am I talking to somebody? The prodigal fell, but because he was not depressed, he said to himself, I will arise. A man that is depressed has almost lost his strength to arise. He said, I will go back to my father. I want to encourage you. It doesn't matter what happened to you yesterday. If you can only say this word like the prodigal, I will arise. Because when you feel, you are the first person who feels it. It doesn't matter the sound of mongering around you. If you can choose to arise, you can live a new life. I came to echo that voice. You must conquer depression. I have seen depression kill pastors. Depression has also resulted to pressure. It has killed people physically. And when they go and check, they say their pressure rose up. Depression can cause the pressure of somebody to go up. Depression can result to physical sickness, and it can result to death. You are not permitted to die young, because there is a sunrise over your life. There is a new day that is coming for somebody. It doesn't matter the battle you are going through today. God is saying to me that you are more than a conqueror. And nothing lasts forever, not even depression. Nothing lasts forever, not even your problem. Nothing lasts forever, not even the circumstances. The only thing that is sure to come is called a change. I want to encourage that change is knocking at your door very soon. And the next phase of change is about to favor somebody. You are about to be highly favored. So I want to encourage you today for you to conquer the spirit of depression. When you really go to internet, see how many people are killing themselves in South Korea, in the United States. These are some of the richest nations on earth. So they did not kill themselves because of poverty. I read something from the they say every 40 minutes, I think, one Korean is killing himself, herself. Yeah. American soldiers are killing themselves because the spirit of depression gets into them. So because of a broken relationship, a failed marriage, unfulfilled life in education, bad result, failing to have the requirement for university, failing to have a visa to United States or to UK. But doesn't know that your time is at hand. And they got depressed. Some broken relationship, somebody break his or her heart. Somebody lose a child or something like that. Lose money. Something doesn't work fine the way you expected. They got depressed. Some disappointment, brought shame or embarrassment. Some letdown. Some financial embarrassment. They get depressed. It doesn't know that your time is here. I want to encourage you as God's humble servant for you to know that indeed there's a sun that is about to rise, and I will favor you under the sun. Listen to me as we go to God's word. I was meditating this day that God began to speak to me to humble foundation. The Lord said to me that one of the major causes of problem in this world is foundation. So we're about to look at foundation. Even the strength of any building is not the height or just the pillar you see. The strength of any building primarily is not really the pillar, but the foundation. The place that's under the earth you don't see, that look ignorable, that nobody sees the foundation, but it's what carries the weight of the whole building. It's not really the pillars. The pillars also are standing on the foundation. The pillars may help to hold the frame, but the structure, the weight, and everything it entails is tied to the foundation. And I began to pray these days, and God began to speak to me. So the problem we are facing in our generation, in our nation, in our family, in our lives, has primarily 90% to do with our foundation. So I began to study about life's foundation from scriptures, nation's foundation, and I discovered a lot of things that are such a blessing that I would like to share with somebody today. All of us as Africans and as human beings have one challenge or the other. But you can see some people can just easily get over their own challenge. Some of us are laboring like an elephant, but are eating like rats. Some of you are as beautiful as a butterfly, but in the realm of the spirit, your life is stinking like a locust. But when you look at yourself physically, you are beautiful. Everybody admires you. You are elegant. You are beautiful. You are marvelous. You are good looking. You are chubby. You are everything outside. You are everything a man desires. You are everything a woman desires. But things are not working at a look outside. But you look so beautiful, you look so chubby, you look so marvelous. When you dress, everybody admires you. You are so photogenic. And everything about you is okay. You have the decorum, the character, the mannerism, and everything it requires. So maybe who doesn't have it, they seem to be more marketable than you. You wonder what happened. That relationship is not working for you. Life does not seem to be giving you what even you deserve. I came to announce to somebody that life is a battle, and primarily of the battle we are facing are tied to our foundation. And so when you fail to handle foundational battle, your life, no matter you are a Christian, can die and go to heaven. But being a Christian gives you the potential and what it takes to succeed. But it does not automatically bring this to pass, because a man's foundation determines nearly everything about him. That's why the Bible says in Psalm 11 verse 3 that if the foundation are destroyed, that the foundations are not strong enough, if the foundation is not supportive, if the foundation is not in the right order, right shape, he said, what can the righteous, that even the righteous cannot succeed with all his righteousness on a bad, failing, faulty foundation? That's what the Bible says. Even the righteous man. We have seen today many pastors are failing, many marriages are failing, whether Christians. But you can testify with me, there are some people who call unbelievers or non-Christians who got married, whose marriages are succeeding. Although you can have everything you want to say about that, it doesn't matter. But when you look truly in your heart, you can testify that they seem to be living better than you on physical level. But you're a Christian, there are times you begin to question God, say, God, why am I praying? I'm fasting, I'm paying my tithe, I'm doing this and that. But I don't seem to be receiving what I really think that I deserve, the promises of scriptures. This thing doesn't seem to be working, coming true in my life. But what is wrong? The issue about foundation is an important thing. I want every Christian to take your time to hear today. The issue of foundation, many Christians never knew what is about foundation, and their life have been destroyed. Look with me from the book of Psalm 82. I want to show you some scriptures. Psalm 82, verse 5. Psalm 82, verse 5. The Bible says, they know not, neither will they understand that they have a part to do. They walk on in darkness. All the foundations of the earth are out of course. I want you to look at this verse again. So one thing I want you to realize from this verse 5 is one, they are ignorant. Two, what I want you to understand from the verse again even though they are ignorant, they are not innocent. But they are what? They are ignorant. Bible says they know not. Bible says neither you they understand. That truly, Bible says they know not, but they have an opportunity to understand, to make an inquiry. Bible says they know not, but they fail to understand. Therefore, they walk in darkness. They walk in darkness. But physically, they are walking in light. They may having some iPhone, having a house that looks so beautiful, walking and driving around. The Bible says they walk in darkness. And all the foundations of their life, their family, are out of course. That no matter the effort they put in, they will not succeed on such a foundation. No matter how educated they become, where they travel to. I have traveled a bit, not like others. I've traveled a bit. I have met Africans and other people, even Spanish and Asians in America and in Europe, who have some fatal problem. They're in America, they are suffering. They're in America, the land of opportunity. Human is speaking the richest nation on the face of the earth, but they are living out in the streets, sleeping by the wayside. So you can wonder, with all this America, with all this opportunity, the wealth of America that is over 20-something trillions worth and more, trillions worth and more, with opportunity boosting all around, that the dollar seems to be the currency acceptable across the world, the number one currency that the world uses in WTO and other places. These people are living in America. You can say that people don't have documents, but they're still making it of building houses in Africa and Asia. So they even have documents. The way to America, they escape prison in Sierra Leone, but they're still in prison in America, physically in prison. Some of them become drug addict dropout in the UK. But that is one of the richest, inside the 10 richest nations in the world, UK, but they are drug addicts, they are failures. So you can realize that you can't run away from your shadows. Your shadow is a type of your foundation. I will say, for all the foundations of the earth are out of course. Is the foundation of your life in cause? Is the foundation of your family in cause? Have you checked the foundation of your father's house? Have you checked the foundation of your mother's house? Have you made a retrospective view of your siblings and an introspective view of your own life? Have you done a background check of your father, your grandparents? Have you looked at their life? Is that the kind of replication you want to happen? Because the word father means a source. It simply means a source. Why do they only check? They do DNA to know if this is the man that begot the child. Because they must have a trace of the same gene. So it means that blessings and curses, mark of that man can come up to you. And if a mark of a father can be traced in you by your DNA, by your gene, it means to say that DNA and that gene in you can replicate something like that man in you. Am I talking to someone? That's what simply means. If the mark of your father can be found proven in you by a DNA, by a gene, it means that your father's certain traces of his life have the potency to be replicated in your life. That's what it simply means. That's what it simply means. So the issue of foundation is an important thing. That's what we want to call in family tree. That no matter where we all belong to a type of a family tree, the Kamala family, the PRATT family, the John family, the Kabo family, the Iris family, you name it, the Ture family. Oh yes, the Bangua family. You go on the Johnson family, all family. These are simply trees. So before there is merely the leaves, the fruits, the stems, coming down to the branches. So you realize that there is a flow, there is a big stem that supports the tree. So there's an original PRATT, there's an original Bangua, there's an original coal, there's an original cargo, there's an original Kamala. You go on and on. There's a man that is called a father of the family. So the issue of foundation is an important thing. In nations, we have fathers of nations. Ghana have fathers of the nations. Nigeria, Sierra Leone also we have fathers of independence. History teaches that we have great warriors. We have tribal fathers then, like the North, the Tibili, the Bible, the Mende, the Madini, the Limbas. Go to history. These tribes have fathers. Sierra Leone fathers of independence. Samuel Magai, Shaka Stevie, Albert Magai. You name few of them. History can tell you. These are people who want to sign our independence. We call them the fathers of independence. And on and on and on and on. So you can see that indeed the nation have gone through a circle. There's a replication. America also have fathers of United States of America, fathers of the Constitution. How America was born, when they met, they sat and they said, let us pray. And in the one they put in God we trust. These were Christian foundational fathers. Do you have such a foundation? When our fathers met for independence, did they pray? Which God did they call upon? That's why I see today, 2021, there is foundation. Foundations are speaking. Our political parties have fathers. The SFP have fathers. The APC has fathers. So you realize whenever they meet, they recognize these fathers. They lay the foundation. They lay this constitution. So APC has a framework. SFP has a framework. Sierra has a framework, has a foundation. Oh yes, tribes have foundations. Villages. There are villages that are started by one man. Tribes are owing to one man. So these are all what we call foundations. And what we are today, we are just a proceed of somebody or somewhere. So there's a foundation. We came from somebody. Our nation came from something. I came from a PRATT. And my father came from another PRATT. And that man came from somebody. So you also have a Johnson. You have a Kabo. You have a Kawara. Oh yes, you have an Idris from somewhere. If the foundations are destroyed. So the Bible talks about foundation in Jeremiah 35. The Rechab, a great-great-grandfather of the Rechabites, one man called Rechab. So that was a foundation. So when you are talking about foundation, you need to take it very serious. That your foundation determines a foundation determines how much a building can carry, not what is available. No, how much money you have, you can build. No, it's the foundation that determines how many stories you can place on top of a building. Not the amount of money you have, not the opportunity you have, not the amount of building the stories you want to put. It is the foundation that will determine it. You may have the money to build a 40-story building, but the foundation only allow one story. If you put it two, it will crack and fall in a matter of years. So it's not the money you have that determines how many stories you can build. It's the foundation that is laid that determines how many stories that can come on top. You have seen some houses, they laid a five-story foundation. They don't really have the money for a flat. After some time, they just remove the roof, they will start building. You wonder why they call the foundation was laid already for a 5-story building. So they don't need to go to the foundation again. But you can have some people down to a building, you need to break the building right through because the foundation never has the strength to support a story building. So it becomes suicidal. So if you want to build on that foundation, you need to break it and reset a foundation that can carry the weight and the stories you want to live. Have you checked your foundation? That's simply tell you that number one, foundation can be corrected. Foundation can be amended. Foundation can be rebuilt, can be reset. Don't joke with foundation. But the foundation that has been laid is fixed. You cannot adjust it by presumptions. You need to revisit it. You need to know the strength of the foundation. Is this foundation supportive? There are people who came from foundation that don't support marriage. They don't support what? Marriage. That marriage, at one point in time, there have been a curse on good marriage, or a curse have been invoked by a lifestyle of some grandfather or some grandparent along the line. So the children struggle to get married because there have been a curse. There have been a curse. There are some people who brought a curse upon their own life by their lifestyle, and marriage is no more working. Some people struggle to have children because of marine spirit. People struggle to have jobs. Some people struggle to travel because the door of international doors have been closed to them. There is no foundation supporting and open door to travel. Have you checked your foundation? There are people who have traces of sickness in them like sickle cell, and how at least are foundational issues that can be corrected if someone is ready. This thing can be reset, this thing can be corrected. They can be remade again if you are ready or you are not ready. I'm not talking to somebody. So the issue of foundation is an important in the life of a Christian. Are you sure you want to go far? Have you checked your foundation? The issue of foundation is not a thing you can presume. It's a thing you must make sure that the foundation is correct. That the foundation is correct. We have some building in Freetown, they have some problem, engineering problem because of the foundation. They look so beautiful, but they cannot maximize all the stories because it is being advised by engineers that the foundation is not correct, and therefore they must leave some of the stories on top, like just like a monument, but it cannot be utilized because the foundation cannot carry weight. So you have a building about 14-story building, but they can only use about 7 stories because why? The foundation. The rest of the 7 story must be left empty because if they put anything heavy on it, it will affect the foundation, and the building sooner or later will come crashing down because of the foundation. So you can see it standing as a 14-story building, but it only can be utilized up to 7 story. Have you checked your foundation? Have you checked your foundation? Let me say something to you. In Genesis chapter 12. So the issue of foundation is important. This is what caused many problems, many lives. Many Christians, they pray, they fast, they do everything, humanly speaking, right, but their life is not producing. It's like when you sow seed, you expect. But you must not just sow seed in any soil. When you did basic agriculture, it tells you the different kinds of soil. You have sandy soil, you have swampy soil, you have loamy soil, you have different kinds of soil. But each soil can produce. It's not only loamy soil that is good. Even sandy soil is good. But they can only work better with the right kind of seed. There are some seed that cannot grow even on loamy soil. They can best do better on sandy soil. Some can best do better on swamp. So you must know the kind of seed you have. Then you look for the right kind of soil. So it's not because you have a good soil, there's a good loamy soil here, you can't put any kind of seed. It can't go like that. The seed and the soil must collate, they must relate. They must relate. So knowledge is in place. Knowledge is in place. There are some people that can only grow in desert, that can only grow on stone slide, and that can only grow on gravel ground, can only grow on sand, can only grow on swamp. As for basic agriculture teachers, you have some rice that only can be done on swamp. So can be done on other kinds of soil. So when we are talking about foundation, knowledge is something that is important. You must take time to inquire, to know about the foundation of your life. Take time to know about that, why my life is not speaking, why marriage is not working. Why having children is a challenge, why traveling is a problem. Why having my 5 wives for university is a problem. Why every time I have to struggle. I pray, I fast. I have some friends that doesn't fast or go to church like me, but they can have some things easily. Does not go love. No, God loves you. It's all about foundation. It's all about foundation. The day you take your time to reset your foundation, there are some things you want me to pray about them again. They work naturally. Not all things is just prayer. Some things, knowledge must come before prayer. You can pray alone, but if you have dissected and understood the root cause of the problem, then you can easily pray right. So I have seen people who fasted for days and months, but their life remained the same thing. They say that their body get dehydrated. Because it's not because the result is not seen because only they fasted. But they fail to know what must happen. That's why you can have in the early church, the Jews will ask, men and brethren, what must we do? There are times we must humble ourselves and ask questions, seek solution, make an inquiry. 2 Samuel 21, Bible says, and David made an inquiry. When last do you make an inquiry to understand things better? To know how this thing must be handled. When you have a vehicle that have a problem, if it's a modern vehicle, they put a diagnostic machine on it. That the machine will help the mechanic or the engineer to locate the problem without guessing, without presumptuousness. There are a lot of things we do even in the church. In the prayer, we guess, we presume, we assume, we feel for God. That's why you see when people can go to hospital. One of the reasons why it's good to go to hospital if you are sick is that the doctor that you not just be treating yourself like that without me, because not all headache is just natural. Some kidney or liver problems, so internal problem can result to headache. So you need to know what is wrong. Worms and other things that they don't presume you know, which kind of. So foundation is an important thing. And David inquired of the Lord. 2 Samuel 21. When last you made an inquiry, say, Father, what is wrong? What is wrong? Why am I laboring? Why am I sowing? I see nothing. Why am I fasting? No result. Father, what is wrong? And if you can ask God, God is a God that can answer. If you refer to realize that God wants to give us direction. So most of the time, if you're buying a news, you just need to ask God, say, Father, what is wrong? What must I do? How can this thing be done? Bible says in Genesis 12, the Bible says, and the Lord said to Abraham, go get me out of thy country, from thy kindred and from thy father's house, unto a land I will show you. And I will make thee a great nation, I will bless thee, and make thy name great, and thou shalt be a blessing. I will bless them that bless thee, and curse them that curse thee. In thee shall all the families of the earth be blessed. And Abraham obeyed. Verse 4 says, and Abraham departed. That was a good thing for Abraham. He departed from where he was to where God wanted him to be. And Abraham departed. But if you follow his story, Abraham, even being in the will of God, never ends all the problem in his life one day. You realize that Abraham's wife was struggling for the next 25 years to have an only child until Abraham had to go astray and have a child with a slave girl. But it was in the will of God. Yes, Abraham was in the will of God. Abraham had God. He was in the will of God. Well, what went wrong? No, it was not God. Neither was the will of God wrong. But the will of God was a blessing. Something was wrong. And what was wrong was his foundation. There's a scripture that shows that before God called Abraham, Abraham was living. God called Abraham at the age of 75. Meaning that he had lived 75 years outside God. That was just the beginning. And when God called Abraham, his father was alive. In Genesis chapter 11, his father was called Terah. When God called Abraham, he had two siblings, two brothers. One of them died, and the other one was alive who left a son behind called Lot. So when God called Abraham, there are a lot of things around him that was unsettled. He was called. So he was not called out of Ethiopia, just out of the blues. No, he came with his father, Terah. When God called Abraham, he had two brothers. One was Nahor, and the other one was Aaron. So he had two brothers, two siblings, Nahor and Aaron. And along this line, Aaron died, who had been married before and had a son, and the son was called Lot. So Abraham also a family. He came from a family before he was called. And when God called Abraham, Abraham was already married to a woman called Sarai. He was already married. So God called him, he already had a wife, and in his marriage already there was a problem. But the Bible says in Genesis chapter 11 that Abraham's wife was barren. He never became barren. The issue of barrenness never arose from Genesis to when God called him. It was something that they had battled with when they were still sinners. So when they got saved, the problem was still there. The only advantage now, what it takes to solve it is now available. That's why if you suffer when you're in Christ, so because you don't have, when you have problem, that doesn't make you free. But if you suffer when you're free, because what it takes to solve it is now available. The name of Jesus Christ, knowledge of what God says. The Bible is made up, has about 3,200 promises for you and I. Keys and the Bible, binding and using, different kind of keys, the gifts of flesh and the keys of healing, deliverance. Lord, yes, the Bible says that about Mount Zion, there shall be deliverance and holiness. And the house of Jacob shall possess. Meaning that there's an opportunity for you to recover. Joshua chapter 1, verse 3 and 5. Wherever the soul of a fish shall tread, there you shall have as a possession. No man shall be able to stand before you all the days of your life. So an opportunity is now being made possible. But the problem does not disappear in one day. So when Abraham even come to the will of God, answer God's call with his wife Sarah, The barrenness of Sarah that had already been there in ages past still existed. And they have to fight with the barrenness for the next 24 years of their life. Until Abraham come to a place, he realized that this thing must be handled. Along the line, his father buried his own son Aaron, and God laid demand upon him. Abraham, sacrifice your son, your only son, Isaac, to me. That means that a type of what killed Aaron was about to be repeated if the curse is not broken. But God has to use a ram to save the life of Isaac. So this we are talking about redemption, substitution. Redemption, substitution. So a ram died in the place of Isaac. But Aaron died in his own sin and his father buried him. But for Abraham, God showed mercy. A ram died in the place of his own son. So you realize that these things began to repeat. They began to repeat. They began to repeat. These things began to repeat. And when you look down the line, Abraham has some major challenges. One challenge in having children. And after I got Isaac, Isaac also married for 20 years, no child. He had to go and beg God at Shiloh from Rebekah, his wife, to have a child. Jacob also married 2 wives. The woman that he loves, Rachel, could not have a child for a very long time. Until there had to be a substitution. It was the mate that blessed Leah, blessed Rachel, and before she can have a child, and God opened her womb. So this is showing that challenges continue to the 3rd generation, almost all 4th. Abraham struggled with a child. Isaac struggled in having a child. Jacob also struggled in having children. So you can see that replication continues. This is what we call foundational problem. Abraham faced famine in Genesis chapter 12. Isaac faced famine in Genesis 26. Jacob also faced famine that was broken. If you realize it was the 4th generation, it was in Joseph's time that all of it were broken. So having problem of children, problem of famine, problem of fear women, that Abraham almost lose his life, behind his wife, because Sarah was fair. Isaac also almost loses his life, behind his wife, Rebekah, because Rebekah was fair. The life of Jacob went into problem because Rachel was fair. So you can see something in that bloodline was speaking in a direction, affecting Abraham. Repeat itself again in Isaac. Replicated itself again in Jacob. This is what you call foundation. These are not things that happen by chance. This is what you call foundational issues. This is what you call foundational issues. That is why we must not take things for granted. Never live a life of presumptuousness or carelessness. You must learn to evaluate, make an assessment, and learn to agree to disagree or disagree to agree. You must learn to know what you allow in your life and what you disallow. There are some things you must cry to God for change, for intervention, because foundation simply supports and supply. Simply supports you to live and supply what has been laid upon, foundation. That is why we will do our best. Bible says it was one man that sinned, Adam, and all of us became sinners, except Christ who came. One man that sinned. So because all of us came through one man, Adam and Eve, and because we came through Adam and Eve, Bible says it was Adam and Eve who sinned, became sinner. And all of us, whether you commit physical sin or not, Bible says all of us are sinners. So you must say you never become a sinner because you fornicate, you steal and lie. You only become a sinner because you are of the seed of Adam. That's what scripture says. The sinful or the Adamic nature. Because the gene of one man replicated in all humanity, that is Adam. Its DNA is found in all of us. Whether you call yourself black or white, Indian or Chinese, Spanish or American, British or Russian, Indian or Bangladeshi, Australian, the caucus. Out of one man came all humanity. Today we have increased 7.2 billion people. One man called Adam and one woman called Eve. So you realize that this is all what to talk about foundation. So there was not a black man that was created, neither a white man that was created, neither a Jew and Australia. It was one man. And after some time, we began to the law of reproduction, procreation. And God says a man lay with his wife and he gave birth to Adam and to Cain and Eve, to Cain and Abel, and later to Seth, and man continued to give birth to children to today. So the issue of foundation is so important that many Christians, their life are being limited, destroyed, and protected by their foundation. When you look at them, you see they have what it takes, but the foundation does not support knowledge. They have what it takes. Their foundation does not support success. They have what it takes. Their foundation does not support being an elite in life. Their foundation does not support higher education. So for one reason or another, a lecturer will hate them. They will find sick. They will fail to have one requirement or the other. That no matter the effort they put, they will not cross certain level in education because their foundation limits them. Oh yes. So must not try. So people tell them they will turn back like mad people. They don't know what drugs drags them home again. And everything they labor for, there's nothing to prove because the foundation has a root cause of poverty, depreciation, setback, non-achievement. So foundation has a lot to do with the outcome of a man's life, with the height you reach, with what you can sustain. There are a lot of things that can come your way, but you cannot sustain them. Because a foundation will cause them, a bad foundation will cause them to depreciate. A bad foundation will cause you to lose certain things. There are a lot of people who have misbehaved at the hour of opportunity. Not that they want to misbehave, their foundation causes them to misbehave. There are a lot of people who have become wet at the hour of opportunity because foundation causes them to misbehave. They just misbehave. They lost opportunity. They misbehave before they realize it. They have lost marriage. So people at every exam they fall sick, and when the exam is almost finished, they recover because there's a power in them. They must not become that educated. Education, their foundation does not support education. Their foundation does not support success, does not support being an elite. Something will cause them one way or the other to lose something that truly belongs to them. It is called foundation. Have you checked your foundation? You cannot go higher than your foundation. You cannot build higher than what the foundation can take. It's not the amount of opportunity or money you have, it's what the foundation can bear. It's not the pillars that determine how far you can build. No, it's the foundation. The pillars are just there to help the structure. If the foundations are destroyed, what can even the righteous do? So even being a righteous man must not make you a fool. Being a righteous man gives you the greatest opportunity that through Christ you can reset things. But when Elijah climbed Mount Carmel, after the prophet of Baal has done all kinds of sacrifice and no fire came, when it was his own turn, Bible says, and Elijah reset the altar. He does not presume just put another lamb on the altar, no. He breaks down the altar with the prophet of Baal were using. That was it, and he chose 12 stones only, not 11, not 13. Because the 12 stones are symbolic of the 12 tribes of Israel. And that is what the God of Israel will answer to the tribes of Israel. He used 12 chosen stones and he set them. And before he finished praying, fire came down. Because why? The foundation was corrected. Now I want to tell you that if you have just sacrificed on the altar of Baal, no fire will have come. Because you have got more stones or less stones. And it was not connected to Israel. The altar that the God of Israel will attend to was connected to the prophetic number of Israel, that is 12. Bible says when Gideon was about to rise, God said, destroy your father's household altar. It was dedicated to Baal. And God said, raise one to me. And Gideon raised another one. Of course, according to the altar of Israel, he will have raised it with 12 stones. Because only 12 stones, the 12 tribes of Israel, the God of Israel will answer to. Because Baal was a foreign deity. Baal was a foreign god. So his own altar will be abilities according to the Philistine demands, not according to the God of Israel. That is why when you got saved, you must break down your father's altar. Because it has always been speaking according to your father's gods and background. Not to the God of Israel, to the God of the Bible, not to the not to the death of Christ on the cross. You must break your mother's altar. Perhaps she was a soul or some ground, like me, like others. You need to recheck this foundation, break them, and allow God to raise a new foundation. An altar that now speaks according to the law and the testimony of God. The Bible says in the book of Isaiah chapter 8 that if it does not speak according to the law and the testimony, the God of Israel will not answer you by fire on any altar. It must speak. It must speak. Isaiah chapter 8 verse 16 says, bind up the testimony and seal my law among my people. So you see, it's not any kind of altar that God speaks, that God answers to. The altar must have a connection to the God of Israel. The altar must speak according to the verse 20. Verse 20, Isaiah 8:20. Say to the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. So you must realize that there is always a standard for God for answer. There's a pattern that will reflect heaven's glory. We know what is symbolism. There are some signs that stand for satanism, for eternity. So, poor, windy, dollar. You know those patterns. They stand for all kinds of fraternity. But the cross, an empty cross, stands for the symbol of Christ. So the 12 stones symbolize the number of Israel. And 12 against symbolize the number of the apostles. That's why today in the church age, we talk about 24 elders. Meaning that the 12 tribes of Israel and the 12 disciple apostles of Christ. That's what the 24 elders simply means. So Israel and the church has an equal representation before the God of Israel. So in our day, today, it's 24. The 12 tribes of Israel and the 12 disciple apostles of Christ. So to the law and to the testimony, verse 20. If they speak not to this word, it is because there is no light in them. Verse 16 says, bind up the testimony and seal my law among my people. Isaiah chapter 8. So you realize that altars must not be built anyhow. Look like today, you can say pastors are dying anyhow, as if there is no God in us. Bible says in Zechariah, I will strike the shepherd, and the sheep shall be scattered. But this is not the first time the enemy has tried to kill pastors. Even in the Bible says Moses almost died before he started his work. Yes, God called Moses. Bible says, but the Satan stood by the way, Exodus chapter 4, verse 24 to 26, to kill Moses. So if not for a woman who was spiritual as Zipporah, Moses would have died before he ever started. Not because of his own sin, but because of a covenant made by Abraham, which Moses had little or no knowledge about. But thank God for Zipporah. His father came from the Midianite tribe, that his father was one of the generation that who came through the last wife of Abraham, Keturah. So they have an understanding a bit about Abrahamic covenant. So his father, Jethro, I've explained it to them. So when he said death around this man, he realized that this is of the original stock of Abraham. They came to the year wife of Abraham, Sarah. She said, we must do circumcision. And Moses now, even though he was a Jew, but was raised by an Egyptian mother, the half-sister of Pharaoh. I mean, circumcision was not what he was going to practice, because Egyptian does not practice circumcision. Then Zipporah had to take it by force. He had to circumcise his own son with a kitchen knife or with a harvest knife, and brought the blood, put the blood at Abraham's Moses' feet, and the Lord spared Moses' life. So even though Moses was called, Moses was of Abrahamic seed, and never knew that something was going to him. Moses would have died like the way many pastors are dying today. Not because they are sinful or they are righteous, but because foundation, covenant, and contract rise against them. That have risen against you. What are you using against? What is limiting? What is eating your harvest? What is limiting your strength? What is limiting your output? What is hindering you from shining? Why you're growing not seen? Why your prayers not being answered? Why your things not manifesting in your life the way they should? Foundation can eat up a man's strength. So the covenant of Abraham, Genesis 15 and Genesis 17. Genesis 17, God said, well, what will give me? Circumcision. God said, no problem. God said, send Abraham. Abraham signed that if any of your seed does not baptize, God said what? Abraham said he must die. This he signed. Moses was never raised without knowledge. He never raised without knowledge. So even though he knew God has called him, but he was not well equipped. That's why knowledge goes before prayer. How much do you know will determine how better your life can be. How much you know will determine how much better your life can be. Not how much you can pray. It's how much you know. The apostles perhaps that are righteous than me, but by the grace of God, I know what I know by the grace of God. I am a man of his knowledge. I am a man who inquire. I am a man who beat about covenant and contract, good and bad. And how can this thing be addressed? God has blessed me by his mercy with the covenant of life. That was God said, I said before the law of death and life, choose. It's what I encourage you to choose life. Means there are some people who are choosing death, knowingly or unknowingly, or who inherited death, knowingly or unknowingly. Why is your life going? It depends on the foundation. Depends on the foundation. Depends on the foundation. The success of Israel today is because of its foundation. Oh yes, what is the foundation which your life is built upon? What is that foundation? Where are you going? You can never be stronger than the foundation. That is why when you go to the book of Revelation, Bible encourages against wrong foundations. Foundations. Foundation. Foundation is an important thing. It's not how much money you have that can determine how strong you can build. It's the foundation that determines the weight of the building and the stories it can take. How much can your foundation carry? Can your foundation carry marriage forever, for a lifetime? Can your foundation carry success? Can your foundation carry childbearing? Can your foundation carry money? Can your foundation carry breakthroughs, political success? Can your foundation carry higher education? Can your foundation carry long life and health? If something is speaking against your foundation, it's like devils. Like many years ago, one spoke to me that my father's house has a devil. He said, look at the devil of your father's house. Call it deity. Meaning it was a spirit they were worshiping. I was being born again, but the devil was stealing me to church. Then God said, look at the devil. And you have to determine to kick it off my life. Have you fought the battles of your life? Have you prevailed over one foundation? As I close, I want to encourage you today. If you fail to pray, you will not prevail. But if you want to live a better life, you must try to know better. Because the knowledge you have that will help you. The Bible says, the just is not delivered by prayer or by fasting. The just, according to scripture, is delivered by knowledge. So I want to encourage you, see, to the one of the things the church is lacking is not prayer. Prayer is so much about the place. But little result. Can't you ask yourself why? It's because knowledge is limited. A man cannot give what he doesn't have. So much effort, so much gymnastics, so much exterior, but little impartation, little grace required. Look, the fathers of old, they pray, they have result. We are praying and fasting, no result. So you must know that we have missed the place of knowledge. And number two, our foundation is working against our progress. It's not how much money you have that determines how much alpha you can go. It's the foundation that determines the weight and the height of the building. If your foundation does not support anything, no matter how you bang the rules, it cannot work until the foundation is set to carry that thing. I encourage you by God's mercies. What you lack in your life, try to lay a foundation that can support that thing. As we worship over the next 5 minutes, I will bless you and lead you to prayer that can help you for a new foundation. So prepare yourself that God is about this Sunday to lay a new foundation for you. God bless you. Let's join me in worship. Thank you. God bless you.